Oh hey, how's it going? This is Webby here, and today I'm going to be testing out the Worx 20-volt 2-in-1 pole saw slash chainsaw. But before we get things started, let's find out what's in the box. Alright, so first off we have the instruction manual. Right here we have the extension pole, which has two parts that will get connected with a locking knob. And right here we have the battery-powered cordless chainsaw. This small box right here contains the charger for the 20-volt battery, as well as the battery for the chainsaw. Now, before we proceed, Jack the cat must inspect all the contents of the box, and more importantly, he needs to check out the box itself to make sure it meets his standards. Before I test out the saw, I'm going to fully charge the included 20-volt battery by connecting it to the charger until I hear it click into place. One nice thing is this saw uses the same 20-volt battery as the Worx 2-in-1 trimmer and edger that I recently bought and tested out, so that means I can have multiple batteries fully charged and ready to go whenever I need to swap them out. But now, it's time to head outside and put this thing to the test. Alright, so we are starting off with the chainsaw itself. And it came already assembled, but we'll take the cover off here. And one thing that the directions did mention is we want to make sure that the tension is good on the chain. You just want it loose enough to where you can pull it up slightly, but it'll go back into position and not come off the bar. Now, if you do need to adjust the tension, you can turn this counterclockwise right here, and that'll loosen it. And if you need to tighten it, you just turn it clockwise, and you can just tell here how much the chain comes up. The more I tighten it, the less the chain will come up. So just, you want to make sure you move it to the desired tension. You want to make sure it's not too tight, but also not too loose. If it's too loose, it could come off. If it's too tight, it won't spin properly and it could cause damage to the bar or the unit itself. But everything is looking good there. Now, before we test out the chainsaw, there is a tag here on the cap that says fill with bar and chain oil before use. The bar and chain oil is not included. So luckily, I do have some here with me. But that is one thing to take note of. This does not come with the device, but let's go ahead and get that added. All right, so I turned it around so you can see right here. It tells you if it's empty or full. You want to make sure you don't add too much. All right, that should be good. Put the cap back on. All right, so now let's add the battery. The battery just slides on right here. There we go. Let's make sure the thing actually runs. So we'll push the button here, squeeze here. Oh yeah, looking good. Now, one thing the instructions say is that when this is new, I think just when you add a new chain in general, sometimes it can get loose, so you want to regularly check the tension. And then if it's ever too loose, just rotate this clockwise and that'll tighten it, but this currently is still looking good. So to test this out, I'm going to be cutting down a limb from a tree that's in my backyard, but it's a little bit high, so I'm not going to manually do it. What I'm going to do is attach the extension pole. So let's go ahead and get that set up right now. All right, so here's the extension pole. We're going to connect it right here, and there is a notch that you need to line up. Then you can slide it in. And then you put this into place and turn it clockwise until it locks into place. All right, so we are locked in place there now. And one really cool thing is this extends pretty far, goes up to 10 feet. So we'll lift this up right here, raise this up, lock it back in place. So yeah, look at that. A 10-foot extension pole, that is really nice. But let's go ahead and add the chainsaw to it. So what we'll do is remove the battery from the chainsaw because the battery is going to get connected to the extension pole. So the battery is off. And then now, where the battery was connected to the chainsaw, that is where we connect to the extension pole. All right, and then to lock it into place, there's a knob right here. We'll turn that clockwise until it's locked. All right, and we are locked. So now that we have the chainsaw connected to the pole, let's add the battery to the pole. It goes on the very back right here. Okay, that's connected. Now let's make sure that this actually starts while it's connected to the extension pole. On the back here is where the button and the trigger is. So let's see how it goes. Oh yeah. Nice. So now for the moment of truth, let's see what this bad boy can do. All right, so one thing I want to point out is the tree behind me is what I'm going to be cutting some limbs off with this. And I recently found out that it is called a tree of heaven, which sounds nice, but it's actually a very poisonous plant to some people. And I've learned from past experience that I am allergic to this tree. It can cause really bad rashes if I touch it. So I am going to be taking advantage of the full length of the extension pole so I can stay as far away as possible from these branches as I cut them. But without further ado, let's see how it goes. All right, first test is good. Now we're going to cut down one of the bigger branches. Oh yeah, we have success. All right, and for the last test, I'm going to disconnect the chainsaw from the extension pole and cut down one of the bigger limbs on the tree behind me. See how it works without the extension pole. So I'm gonna loosen this part right here so I can detach the chainsaw from the extension pole. So once I have it loosened, I pull this part and slide it. Now it's disconnected. Now I need to reattach the battery to the chainsaw. All right, and we are ready to go. Oh yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, considering this is the first time I've ever used this device, I am very happy with it. First impressions are really good. I definitely plan on using this a lot in the future, and I am happy with the purchase. If you have any other suggestions for yard tools you would like me to review in a future video, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. But that's going to do it for us here today. And until next time, this is Webby, signing off.